Your belly fat has more cortisol receptors than any other fat in your body. That single fact changes everything you thought you knew about weight loss. Most people blame their diet when belly fat refuses to leave their midsection. But the real problem is happening inside your fat cells at a hormonal level. Visceral fat, the deep belly fat around your organs, is not just sitting there. It is actively pulling cortisol into itself like a magnet pulling metal closer. Your visceral fat has 2 to 3 times more cortisol receptors than regular fat. That means every stress response you have feeds your belly fat directly and powerfully. And here is where it gets interesting, because cortisol does not work alone at all. When cortisol rises, your liver immediately dumps glucose into your bloodstream without any food. That glucose spike forces your pancreas to release insulin, your primary fat storage hormone. Insulin then shuts off fat burning completely, even if you have not eaten anything today. So your body is storing fat while you are fasting, dieting, or eating perfectly clean. This is the cortisol-insulin loop, and it explains why your belly fat never moves. You are not failing your diet. Your hormones are running a completely different program instead. Now here is the part that most doctors never explain during a standard office visit. Visceral fat does not just respond to cortisol, it actually recruits cortisol to survive longer. It grows more receptors over time, becoming more sensitive, more hungry, and more stubborn always. The more cortisol it absorbs, the more insulin-resistant your entire body slowly becomes. And the more insulin-resistant you are, the more visceral fat your body keeps storing. This loop runs silently in the background while you blame calories, carbs, or your genetics. But understanding this loop is the first step to finally breaking out of it completely. So where is all this extra cortisol actually coming from in your daily modern life? Late-night screen time is one of the biggest cortisol triggers most people never suspect. Eating close to bedtime spikes cortisol and insulin at exactly the wrong time each night. Work stress, relationship tension, and world news all keep cortisol elevated throughout your entire day. Overtraining and chronic cardio are 2 more cortisol triggers hiding inside your fitness routine daily. Here is something most fitness advice completely ignores, and it will genuinely surprise you today. Long-distance running and jogging chronically elevate cortisol, and that chronically elevates insulin as well. When insulin stays high, fat burning stays off, no matter how many miles you run. People doing daily cardio often gain more belly fat because of this exact hormonal response. Walking is completely different. A 20-minute walk actually lowers cortisol and improves insulin sensitivity. But jogging long distances tells your body it is under threat, and cortisol follows immediately. Now let us talk about the 3 a.m. cortisol spike, because this one is often missed. During healthy sleep, your blood sugar slowly and naturally drops as your body repairs itself. If it drops too low, your brain sends out a stress signal to survive. Cortisol spikes to raise blood sugar, which then raises insulin, which then blocks fat burning. You wake up feeling puffy, tired, wired, and craving sugar before breakfast has even started. This is not about what you ate the night before. It is cortisol dumping glucose. And visceral fat with all those extra receptors absorbs that cortisol surge like dry ground absorbs rain. This one overnight pattern alone explains a huge percentage of stubborn midsection fat in people. The good news is that this specific problem has a surprisingly simple and effective solution available. Take 1 tablespoon of raw honey with a small pinch of quality sea salt before bed. The honey gently feeds your liver overnight, so blood sugar never drops low enough to panic. Fructose in honey refills glycogen stores, and sea salt stabilizes your electrolytes through the night. Your brain stays calm, cortisol stays low, insulin stays low, and fat burning continues overnight. This one small habit has helped thousands of people finally sleep through the night consistently. Now let us go through the fixes that will break this cortisol-insulin cycle for good. Fix 1. Stop eating at least 3 hours before you go to bed each night. After sunset, your insulin sensitivity drops, and any food triggers an outsized insulin response quickly. Nighttime insulin shuts off growth hormone, which is your body's most powerful natural fat burner. Stop eating earlier, and your body shifts into deep fat-burning mode while you sleep. Fix 2. Replace your long cardio sessions with short, all-out sprint efforts twice weekly. One 20-second all-out sprint raises growth hormone by up to 450%. Growth hormone is cortisol's natural antidote. It lowers inflammation and resets your hormonal balance fast. 2 rounds of sprinting twice a week does more for fat loss than hours of jogging. Fix 3. Walk for 10 to 20 minutes after your meals, especially your largest one daily. This simple habit lowers post-meal glucose and insulin levels by around 30% consistently. It moves sugar into your muscles without needing insulin and directly reduces visceral fat storage. Better sleep, better recovery, and lower cortisol all follow from this one easy daily habit. Fix 4. Balance your fasting with enough protein during your eating window every single day. Fasting is powerful, but too much fasting combined with too little protein raises cortisol too high. Aim for 1 gram of protein per pound of your ideal body weight each day. If your goal weight is 130, eat 130 grams of protein in your window. If your eating window is too short for that, reduce fasting and increase your eating time. Once you're hitting your protein target consistently, add one 24-hour fast per week. That weekly fast drops insulin, activates autophagy, boosts growth hormone, and resets your liver function completely. Fix 5. Coffee on an empty stomach first thing in the morning spikes cortisol too high. If you fast in the mornings, wait 90 minutes after waking before having your first coffee. That is when cortisol naturally begins dropping, and coffee will not push it dangerously higher. Or simply have a small meal before coffee to buffer that morning cortisol spike effectively. Fix 6 is the one nobody in health and fitness is talking about seriously enough yet. Gratitude is not soft advice, it is biochemistry, and the research behind it is genuinely solid. The moment you feel real gratitude, your body releases oxytocin, which directly lowers cortisol levels. This is mitochondrial biochemistry, not motivation talk. Your hormonal output literally shifts in that moment. 30 seconds of genuine gratitude each morning is a cortisol-lowering tool hiding in plain sight. Now let us bring this all together so the full picture is completely clear for you. Visceral fat is not passive. It is hormonally active, and it is designed to protect itself. It pulls in cortisol, grows more receptors, drives insulin higher, and blocks fat burning consistently. Chronic cardio feeds it. Late-night eating feeds it. Poor sleep and stress feed it daily. But none of that means your body is broken or that fat loss is impossible for you. It means your hormones were running on the wrong signals, and now you have better ones. Fix the cortisol leaks and insulin naturally drops. When insulin drops, fat burning finally switches on. Your body was never working against you. It was just responding to the wrong environment always. Give it the right signals consistently, and it will do exactly what you need it to do.